Morning, guys. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and pull up your warm-up, and then we'll get going for the day. Okay. Boo. Okay, so this was Fridays. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, well, last time we were together, we took a test, and today we have a couple things. We are starting a new unit on protein. So, we have our guided notes for protein, which I'm pulling up to the head of the list here. So we have the guided notes to do today. And then I gave 2 assignments last week. This protein one, you can only do up to number 6, but if you figure out the word, it's like kind of like a word scramble. So if you figure out the word, it kind of helps you figure out the rest of the worksheet. So there's that. And then a billboard for protein. I'll give you guys some extra time. And then we have our demo on energy bites, or I call them protein balls. And so that'll be your demo for our Thursday. So we're gonna jump into our guided notes right here on protein. So if you guys could open those up, I tried to leave a lot of the wording so that there wasn't a ton of work for you to do on this protein. And so hopefully you'll appreciate that as you go through. But just because I put one word down doesn't mean that there isn't something after it. So try to fill in as best you can for the guided notes. Alrighty. So are there any questions before we get started? Are you seeing where the guided notes are, and are you ready to start? Let me know in the chat if you have a question. Okay, no questions, so I'm assuming we're ready to go. I just need to grab it really quick. Take me like 10 seconds. Where are you? Right there. Okay. And then if we could just work with the hand blurbs again about when you're ready to continue, then I'll know that you're ready. Okay, so our objectives or the I can statements for this unit are that you can explain the difference between an essential and a non-essential amino acid. You can discuss the functions of protein in the body, identify animal and plant food sources of protein. You can calculate your daily protein needs, and you can describe problems associated with protein deficiencies and excesses. So that's kind of where we're going in this unit. Okay, so first we need to define the word protein. So it is the energy yielding nutrients composed of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and now and nitrogen. The presence of nitrogen is what makes the nutrient different from carbohydrates and fats. So if you remember from the previous two units, that carbohydrates and fats just make up carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But with protein, we're going to add in nitrogen. And I tried to underline some keywords for you to make it a little easier. And then just a little hand blurb would be great, and then I know I can move on. Okay, sorry, I had to tell somebody something. Okay, back to this. So if you can think back to when we talked about carbohydrates and fat, what which function of protein can also be performed by carbohydrates, do you think? Do you have an answer for that one? Well, all three of them provide energy because that's where the calories come from on a food label is from fats, protein, carbs. And when you add that all up, that equals the calories. So that's what all three of these nutrients have in common is that they all yield energy. Okay. Next one, amino acids are the building blocks for protein molecules. So most proteins are made up of different patterns and combinations of 20 amino acids, which are linked in strands, but the body has at least 30,000 types. So basically what this is saying is that it's similar, like when we talked about carbohydrates with chains of molecules, these are all different types. Like they can be straight lines, they could be stacked, they could be branched, and they could be in all different types of patterns of proteins. It's kind of like words, you know, how the alphabet is what it is, and you can do all these different combinations of the letters to make words. It's kind of that same concept where there's just a bunch of different combinations that can be made with protein. Okay, so this is just an example of some amino acids and their three-letter code and their one-letter code so that you can see how, you know, there's different letters and that there can be many combinations of amino acids that are represented. Oops. Okay. Then you have deoxyribo nucleic acid is found in the nucleus of every cell. That's our DNA. It provides instructions for how the amino acids will be linked to form the protein in the body. I'll make sure I'll still here. And then when you get that written up, let me know. You getting all these notes done, Ian? Okay, good. And then I need that hand blurb to let me know when you're ready. Okay, thanks. Awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's just wait for 2 hand blurbs and then I'll know it's both of you and you're ready to go. Great idea. If you look at this definition, if I asked you this question, protein plays a role in only a few specific cells in the body, that would be false because it's for every cell. So that's a really good test question. So just kind of keep that in mind for the exam. So FYI. Okay, and then we need to talk about denaturation, which is protein molecules that can change their shape and take on new characteristics. So, like heat, acid, bases, and alcohol are among the factors that can denaturate protein. So, like for example, an egg is high in protein. So, if I put it on the stove and I heated it up, the yolk would become solidified. And so that's called denaturation. I can't ever take it back where I can't take the egg and make it yolky again. There's no way to do that. So that's what we call denaturation. Or if I hard boil an egg, I can't turn it back into a chick, so it's denaturated. If I took meat tenderizer and I put it on a steak, let's say, and I broke down all the connective tissue, I can't ever go back to what the steak was before that. Okay, so those are just 2 good examples of denaturation. And then I'll wait for the 2 hand blurpsters. Just wait on my next hand blurb. I only heard 1. Thank you. And then types of amino acids. So you need all 20 amino acids for good health. However, your body can synthesize 11 of the amino acids from other amino acids. So synthesize means that your body can use 1 or more compounds to make a new and different compound. So the synthesize means your body can make them. So 11 of the amino acids are your body supplies. Thank you. Gotcha. Okay, and so we're going to refer to the ones that your body makes amino acids wise as non-essential, and the ones that your body does not make, we're going to call essential. So there's 11 non-essential and there is 9 essential. So your body is not able to make the remaining 9, and so you must get them from the foods that you eat. Just waiting on the second hand blurb. Thank you. Okay, so now what does protein do in our body? When you eat protein foods, your stomach acid denatures the protein. So it breaks it down, changes it. This makes it easier for enzymes in the stomach to begin breaking down large protein molecules into small pieces. So as the protein pieces move into the small intestines, other enzymes break them down into single amino acids. And then the amino acids are then absorbed into the bloodstream. And then your blood is going to carry them to body cells that need them. So, with each fats and carbs, we talked about how the body processes these. And so this is how your body processes protein. So with all of them, they basically start getting broken down into smaller pieces so that they can pass through the small intestines and then get into our bloodstream and then go to where our body needs them. So that's true for everything. Okay. So, hopefully this one is kind of a no-brainer just because that's how it's always been for all of the two other nutrients that we talked about. So then give me a hand blurb when you get that, if you could. There's one. Okay. Okay, and then there's 6 functions. We're going to go through the 6 functions today. So one is build and maintains tissue. Number 2 is make important compounds. Number 3 is to regulate minerals and fluid balance. Number 4 is to maintain acid bases balance. Number 5 is to carry vital substances. And then number 6 says, with all the nutrients that we've covered so far, provides energy. So in the next 6 slides, I'm going to break down each function and we'll write a little bit about each. So when you get those 6 functions, let me know, unless I had them on the notes. I can't remember. Nope, I did not. So, where it says functions of protein, that's where you probably need to be putting 6 bullets underneath that header, because the build and maintain tissue is the first function, and we're going to put 4 bullets there. So that's a little mess up on my part. I didn't leave a little spot for that. So again, where it says functions of protein, underlined, bolded, you need to put these 6 under that header. And then the other bullets that are indented, those are each of the functions that I'm going to talk about. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I did. Okay. I was thinking I didn't leave a space, but it looks like I did. So good. Yeah, I don't. Okay. So let me check on. Hold on. Aiden, when you get to this slide, will you let me know so that I can direct you on what I need to fix?
Yes, I will.
Okay, and then Ian, will you go back to your note page for a second so I can see if you put the right information under the correct header? Okay, so, all right, hold on. So under functions of protein, that's where you're going to put these 6 bullets. Yep, exactly. And then the protein in the body was the last slide I just did, so it looks like you might have missed that. So let me know at the end if you want me to go back to that slide. Okay, so Aiden, what you need to do is go up to where it says functions of protein. Yeah, go all the way up to where it says functions of protein. Is your cursor there? Okay, and then now return or hit the enter key. And then that's where you're going to put the 6 functions of protein. So you could indent in if you wanted to, or you can just, not bold the next 6. However you want to do it. It's your notes. But yeah, I didn't leave a space for that. There you go. Yep. And then just hit, yep, just like that. Perfect. Ian, I'll go back to that proteins unless it looks like you have it. Okay. Well, then I'll just wait for you guys to give me that hand blurb. There's one. I'm just waiting on the other. Okay, so building and maintaining tissue. So protein is necessary part of every cell. So it forms the structure of muscles, organs, skin, blood, hair, nails, and every other part of our body. It makes up new tissue. It makes up 18 to 20% of our body. Each cell has a limited lifespan, and growth and repair are possible only when your diet provides the necessary mix of amino acids. And remember, 9 are essential because our body doesn't provide them, and 11 are non-essential because our body has a supply of them. Just let me know when you're done, guys. Thank you. Okay, and then make important compounds. So process of making those are enzymes, cause specific chemical reactions in the body. These are things we've covered before. Hormones are those chemicals that are released into the bloodstream to control specific body processes like insulin. And then antibodies are proteins that defend the body against infection and disease. So those are some common things that we have discussed. So if you want to put them in your own words, you can. If you want to write mine, you can. It's just, something that we've already talked about. So. Everybody else ready? I think we just have one to finish up here as far as like the notes before we go to the next one. We're almost there, not quite. Aiden, you ready? Okay. All right. Thank you. So it also, like we said before, regulates minerals and fluid balance. So it carries the minerals like sodium, potassium from one side of a cell wall to the other. It controls the flow of water through the cell membrane, and it balances the fluid inside and outside of the cells so that there's normal functioning of the heart, lungs, brain, and in every other cell. Was that just one or two? I can't remember. Okay, thanks. Okay, and then maintain acid-base balance. So it helps maintain the acid-base balance of blood. The acid-base balance, keep it correct level of acidity in the body fluids, and it also acts as a buffer, which is a compound that can actually counteract any excess of acids or bases in the fluid. Okay. All right, so carrying the vital substances. So proteins linked with fat, because then when we talked about fat, we talked about the lipoproteins carrying fat in the bloodstream, and then it transports iron and other nutrients. Oxygen transport in the blood depends on the presence of protein. And then your health will suffer if proteins are not available to carry these vital substances. So that's where we're going to see deficiencies happening. And we just have one more after this. And then we'll talk about what you need to get done. Just give me a hand blurb when you guys are ready for the next one. Just waiting on one more. All right, last one. So provides energy. Only protein can perform critical growth and repair. So fats and carbs can't do that. Only protein. Its number one priority is to provide the cell with energy it needs to exist. And carbs and fat are lacking in the diet. The body will use protein as an energy source, and it yields 4 calories of energy per gram. And when I hear the last hand blurbs, I will then show you what you need to do for your assignment. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Just a minute, Lou. Oh, give me 1 second to let this dog out. That's crazy. Okay. All right. So if we go back into Google Classroom, I'm going to start with the easiest assignment first. So your demo protein balls are here. I took a picture of the board of the ingredients and the equipment. So just take a look at that picture. And then the video is here, and then your teacher demo page is there. Okay. This is the worksheet called Protein, the Building Blocks. And you can only, the notes so far get you to number 6. But people in the in-person would figure out what 1 through 5 are up here. And then they would be able to fill out the rest of it, because what you're going to do is find the right answer. Like if you thought the right answer, let's say, was oxygen, you're going to take letter B and you're going to put it up here in number 1 and put the letter B. And that's going to spell something out. So the in-person kids, once they figured out the 1 through 5, they actually could figure out the 6 through 10. So, I mean, if you can figure out all the way through 10, then turn it in. And if you can't, I'll know that, and I'll make sure that I don't take any late points off from it. Okay. Cause I know I think it might even be past due, but I know that my virtual kids have some softer deadlines. So don't ever worry about the deadlines unless I specifically say it has to be done at this time. Okay. But try to get it done because you don't want to fall behind. And then the next one is going to take you a little bit more time. So the directions are right here in the write-up of the assignment. Stay with me, Aiden, please, so I don't have to explain this more than once. Okay.
I am.
Okay, so it says list the 6 basic functions of protein in the body. So I did mine on a Google slide, and I just copied and pasted the functions from the notes and put them on a slide. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Then you're going to design a billboard to advertise one of the functions. So out of those 6, you're going to pick one to make a billboard on. And then you're going to choose, I already said that. Then you're going to write a summary of the message of your design. And you're going to use Google Slides to illustrate your billboard. Be sure to use an attention-getting slogan, logo, and layout. So I did one, and I did mine a little differently. So I did one billboard for my logo, and it was "We Carry On," and I just wanted to show that protein, kind of carries the body, and it's strong, and so that's kind of what this represents. So that's my logo. And then this is my what do you want to call it? My billboard. So I chose to do the function about carrying vital substances. And so I found clip art that kind of represented what that was all about. So if your body doesn't carry vital substances, it affects your health. So I use this sick little boy and then building blocks falling over. And then I also did the positive side where your proteins will carry fat in the bloodstream. So I have a picture of the body here with the blood, and then it transports oxygen and iron and other nutrients. And I also have this guy carrying because they're considered building blocks in our body. So then the last slide just explains my billboard, like why I chose this guy. So kind of how I just explained it to you is basically what this slide is about. Okay. So this slide just contains the function of protein, the one that I chose. You don't necessarily have to have these pictures up here or these words up here. I just put them in there, and then I explained it. Okay. So I believe that the billboard says it's due today. The protein building blocks is due today, and your demo's due today. So I'll give you guys till Monday. But I would try to get a couple of them done before that time because you'll have Monday until 11:59. So you have all today, not all today, but you have after school time, and then you have your Saturday, your Sunday, and Monday until 11:59 at night. So try to hit those deadlines. If that's not going to work for you and you're finding you're going to have a hard time hitting that, then you need to be emailing me and letting me know so I can adjust that for you. But I need some type of communication, please. Okay. Questions that you have at this time? Okay. Hopefully you got all that. So for the next 10 minutes, I'd like to see you working on something so that you can get your work done. You guys have any questions or anything that I can help you with? Okay, let me know if you do.
No, I'm all good.
Okay, thanks, Aiden. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you on out of here unless you have any other questions. Try to get those assignments done. We got next week 2 classes, the next week 2 classes, and an exam. So that's 4 times we'll meet, and then we'll have an exam.
Okay, have a good weekend,
You
Ms. Emma.
too. We'll see you Wednesday.
You too.
Bye.